Good morning, everyone. It's good to see everyone here. I just thought I would jump on and do a little fellowship with everyone. Um, so there's a lot going on. I have a long list of everything that's going on and stuff, and it can really be overwhelming, but you got to think on the positive side. There's a quote that I like. The problem is not the problem is your attitude about the problem. So we can always take, negative or look at the negative of everything that's going on, or we can try to look at the positive. And one of the positives, is we're hearing about this stuff, we're seeing it happen. It may not be all happening at once. You know, it's like a slow, drawn out process on some stuff. But we can see it. We read the news articles and the documents and stuff like that. And, you know, the positive side is we know about this stuff and it can help us better prepare. Now, I do know that, at least with me, that I wish I knew 100% for sure what was going to happen because then I could prep more towards that direction. However, that's not possible to know 100% for sure. So we got to prep, to cover many different things and situations that's going on right now. And which can be good because if you just focus on one thing, well, that one thing may happen, but something else may happen too. So having a broad um, prep setup is good, but it would be nice to know for sure what was going to happen. So I do have a list of several different things. It's in the little notebook, and I already got several pages. And I'm sure that I missed a lot of stuff. Um, and maybe here shortly I'll do a video and go over everything. One thing I haven't personally heard a whole lot of um, is about the wheat shortages that was apparently supposed to happen. Or when I say shortage, I mean completely run out. I was hearing around the beginning of August. Um, but it's it's all crazy. There's just so much going on. Um, it's I think it would just be nice to you know live and be free and not be going through all this stuff. But it is part of um the everything that's going on is part of our life, and it's what we make of it and what we do about it that makes the difference. If we sit down and do nothing, then things are just going to get worse. And I'm not saying go and get violent or nothing like that. But a lot of the really young generation, maybe not everyone, I'm not saying that, but a lot of them, they're just into their cell phones, their iPads, on the computer. Snapchat um, seems to be the big one in my area. You got Facebook, you got Twitter, and Instagram and just all this stuff that we just get into and we just shut out the things around us. That's like watching Netflix, or Disney Plus, or a lot of other stuff, HBO, just whatever. There's You get so consumed in that, and then before you know it, an hour has passed, or more. And what have you accomplished during that time? So I think it's always good to be thinking and looking at what's going on. I'm not saying to obsess with it, but be paying attention to what's going on. That way you're not caught completely off guard. And I think that's one thing that's going to get this younger generation is they're going to be caught off guard. I mean, what are they going to do when they're sitting there on the phone on Snapchat with someone and the grid goes down? Or maybe cellular service gets interrupted. Just they're going to lose their mind. And I'm a tech person. I actually have a small PC repair business. And, I got all kinds of tech stuff and everything, and some expensive stuff. You can kind of see things here on my wall. Right there is a tablet that has a bunch of switches or buttons for my home assistant to control my lights and all that stuff. And then this here is my Simply Safe security system. You see my Nest thermostat. And then right here, that's my Alexa device, doorbell, and smoke alarm. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about not having Alexa devices in your home because it's always listening and stuff. And I get that, and I do understand that. Um, but to me, and with what I know, is there's so much stuff in the home that you can be listening to on or monitored on, and it don't just have to be an Alexa device. It can be a Google device. It could be um, Siri, Cortana for your computer. They got some other personal home um, devices. And sorry about this light that started coming through. That's actually the sun from the kitchen window. Um, but so there's a lot of this different assistants that can listen into what you're doing. But then if you got a smart TV, um, that has a microphone on it, it can listen in to you. If you got a phone, it can listen in to you. Your computers. I know there's, people's like, well, if I, disable my cameras or microphones or cover them up, that'll solve the problem. In some cases, it may help. Like if you have an external microphone and you just turn it off from the microphone, um, laptops and tablets and stuff that has microphones on them, um, you can cover them up and it could help, but I wouldn't go as much to say that it would help 100%. Um, if you're worried about, someone listening in and saying you talking to someone about prepping or something, well, again, it don't have to just be your smart assistant home devices. It can be anything if you want to really get down to it. Um, so I do have several Alexa devices in nearly every room, um, except for one bedroom that's used as a storage room. And then, you know, this, and then I got some Google devices as well. And then, of course, I got some other stuff that runs my smart lights and everything. But to me, that's the least of my worries, because if I really, really wanted to, not to be tracked or anything, there's more that would need to be done other than just getting rid of your Alexa devices or whatever smart device you have in your home. And to each their own. And if you have feedback on this, please drop it down in the comments and let me know. You may convince me otherwise. Um, so please do comment about it and let me know what your thoughts are about the Alexa devices or being tracked or listened into on your devices. So, um, there's to me the Alexa devices, there's more depressing stuff to worry about, I would say. Um, let's go with the potential of, a digital currency, social credit score. Out of everything that's going on, there's a couple of things that really get to me, and one is the digital currency social credit score. I do not want to have to deal with that whatsoever. Um, and the other thing would be if there's ever an actual invasion here on the homeland of the United States. I wouldn't want to deal with that. Um, but it looks like it's going to come to that point because to me, there's just so much stuff going on. You got Russia threatening us, you got China threatening us. Um, in China, really all that China has to do is just say, we are not going to export to the United States no more. And that alone, will bring us down to our knees because we depend so much on China for everything. And that is very dangerous. Very dangerous. And I know you know this and stuff, but we really need to become self-efficient. And then once we are 100% self-efficient, for the most part, then we can export to other countries instead of depending on other countries to survive. Um, that's just not really going to work because, like I said, China can cut us off, and we are in a world of hurt. Um, and China could do other things too, but that's just one possibility. And even if, you know, Trump or someone was to become president right now, a lot of this stuff is already set in motion. So, you know, there could be so much that could be stopped or slowed down or changed, but there's just so much emotion right now that I don't see much of stopping anything right now. The food shortages, see. um, so with the food shortages and stuff right now, some people say, everything's fine. There's a lot of videos and stuff where things are not good at all. You got empty shelves and everything. And, it's to me, even if it's fine in your area, you should still work on being prepared for things. Especially when you hear about other people having issues. It's just a matter of time before you have issues. So it's better to be prepared than not prepared. And let's take, for example, the EBT SNAP food stamps. Um, when it went down, I never even knew it went down. Yes, I am on food stamps as I'm in the lower class and stuff. But anyways, I never knew it went down. So it never affected me that it went down. And I've heard of comments that people's had about the food stamps being down, that they wasn't able to go and get food, um, and that they should give us double the food stamps, or they're going to call the cops or whatever. To me, all that is nonsense. Um, that's just people wanting to stir up trouble, um, get something more than what they should be entitled to, I guess you could say. Like with me being on food stamps, whenever I go shopping, I shop for the long term, not just something short and temporary. I mean, the people that was complaining about not being able to buy food, it's like, what do you do? Do you just go and say, well, I'm going to go food shopping this coming Friday, but I'm going to only buy enough food for Thursday? That don't make sense. Because what if something happens? I mean, it don't have to be the EBT service or systems going down. You your vehicle could break down. Your way of transportation could not be there. You could get sick. There's a number of things that can happen and cause you not to be able to get out and go and get food. So it's like if you plan on going food shopping Friday, okay, make sure you have enough food at least through, I would say, Monday the following week or Wednesday, just in case something does happen. But on the flip side, as far as being prepared for things, you should have food that can last you a long time. Right now, if everything was to go south, um, SHTF event, I got enough food that can last me at least a year. Now, does that mean I'll be able to eat big meals and stuff like that? No. I would have to stretch it out to make it a year. Okay. And it's very possible to make food and stuff stretch out. I mean, we got to get in shape, and stuff. And even me, I'm talking about me here too. I could lose more weight or, whatever to get in better shape and stuff for when things get really bad. And there's so many dynamics of things, but anyway, so you can, even on food stamps, you can prepare for things to happen. And that is what I'm doing. So I get the food, that I need to eat throughout the month, you know, and then I turn around and get a lot of um prepping food or food to put back so I would, have it. I don't get like a whole lot in food stamps or anything like that. But anyways, there is things you can do and stuff to prepare. One of the things you can do is you can buy seeds, edible plants, and offer food stamps. I never knew that until this year. And, so that's one thing you can do is you can go and um, prep that way too for something long term. Yes, it would take work and time and energy and stuff like that to grow a garden, but it's a food source. Okay. Especially if everything just goes bad, real bad. Um, so I got a variety of seeds. Some that I bought, some that I got um, from other methods, and I got food. Okay, so if EBT SNAP was to go away, I won't be dying. Um, so there's ways to get food, and people that are on a low income, there is things that you can do, to get a little bit of money on the side um, to lower like your cell phone bill or something like that. Anything to help with, saving money or making a little money on the side and stuff. Something that's real easy to do. And I do have some videos on that. If you look under my playlist for the tidbits of information. Um, I got some videos, a couple videos there about um, cell phone service providers and ways to save money there. And then I got also a couple videos about how to make some money on the side. And I'm always looking for ways to make a little bit of money and stuff on my downtime. But if there's anything that you would like to try to see what you can do to, make extra money or, lower a bill or something, feel free to send me an email and I can see what I can do for you. or give you some suggestions. So there's there's always a way, there's always something that can be done to prepare. It's not something that you're gonna be like, I'm poor, I'm in the lower class, I'm in poverty, I'm not gonna make it. There's always things you can do to prepare. Again, the problem's not the problem, but your attitude about the problem. So you can look at the problem. For example, let's say a grid down situation. Okay, you can be like, "Oh no, I can't watch my Netflix show. I can't, be on the internet. Oh no, I can't access Facebook. My Twitter, I can't reach people. I can't reach people through Snapchat, and it's the end of the world." No, it's not. Um, all that is just distractions, really. You can turn around and say, okay, this is a grid down situation, so this is what I need to do. If it's safe to stay in your home, you stay in your home, you prepare. If it's, let's say, for example, if it's in the middle of winter and it's cold, you can bundle up, you can light a candle, um, put on extra clothing. It's something to do. Me personally, I would rather the cold versus the heat because you can always get warm versus, or try to get warm versus the, versus, you know, trying to get cool when it's extremely hot. So, and that's an example, but we can just be prepared for stuff. Make sure if it's going in winter here pretty soon, it's going to start cooling down, hopefully. Um, so the things I can do is make sure I have extra candles, make sure I have a heat source, make sure I got blankets and, the clothing I need, the food. There's always something we can do. If you look at the bad or the negative, that's all you're gonna have. That's all you're gonna reap is the negative versus if you look at the positive. So with me being a tech person, I can turn around and say, in a grid down situation, I can be like, oh no, I can't work. I I can't access my office computer. How am I going to fix this customer's computer or tablet or cell phone, whatever it is? How can I stay up with the current news of what's going on or the updates and the patches and all that stuff for computers? How am I going to be able to place this order for a customer? Just all sorts of negative stuff. Or you can look at the bright side. Bright side, for an example, is well, I don't have much to do, so I can go and visit family, actually communicate with family. That's one thing that I really like. Um, there's been ice storms in my area that knocks the power out, sometimes for a couple of days, sometimes a week or two. And I really enjoy it. Whenever I know there's a chance, I make sure I have the food I need, the drinks I need, the candles, the matches or lighter, and the blankets or clothing. And that's what I do. So, and I have some battery packs, so I make sure, that the charge for, different um battery operated lights I have, or even to charge my cell phone. Not to stay on my cell phone and run the battery dead right away, but to charge it. And of course, I turn around and I put my phone in, I turn off the cellular data, I turn off the Wi Fi on it, I turn off everything, put it in battery save, and turn down the brightness, everything I can to reserve battery on the phone, just to make it last longer, in case there is that emergency and I need to try to get a hold of someone. Um, but I don't lose my mind over it. And that's a lot of what we got to do is we got to have a positive outlook on everything. And when we have a positive outlook, it changes everything for us and for the people around us. Versus if you have a negative attitude, you get cranky, you get upset, you get mad. Um, you, um, all that stuff. It just really it don't help, and then your attitude can rub off on someone else, and then y'all could end up clashing together, and you know having issues, conflicts, arguments, and stuff is not good at all. So we need to work on not just prepping for food or be prepared for events or getting in shape and stuff. We also need to retrain our mindsets on things and look at the positive of stuff. Just because negative things happen doesn't mean that the whole day is bad. Um, Example. Sorry, I got someone that's constantly trying to get a hold of me. But anyways, forgot what I was going to say. Oh, but so we just gotta look to the positive. I know someone that years ago he dropped a pen on the floor. A pen, a writing pen. He dropped it on the floor and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna be a bad day." For dropping a pen on the floor, pick it up. No reason to be mad over it. What does getting mad over dropping the pen solve? Or, there's a lot of times I hear about people, they talk about these things like if you go to the grocery store and your total comes up to be $6.66. So it's 666. I know what it stands for and the meaning behind it, but it doesn't mean that you're going to have a bad day or it's going to be a bad day or something bad's going to happen. When when some if you turn around and get a negative thought, something like, if you go to the grocery store and buy something that comes up to 666, and then you're like, well, this is going to be a bad day. Well, then you're going to be focused on the negative of that day. Whereas if you don't focus on the negative and you just go about your day, you won't see all the negative stuff. If you focus and try to see the positive in everything, your day is going to be a whole lot better, and it's just it'll make your life easier. So, and this goes in our preparing for stuff too, is trying to have a positive outlook in all the situations that can happen. Like I said, I have a list. The two that gets to me is the whole social credit score, um, digital currency, and if there is any type of conflict or war here on the homeland of the United States. Them are the two things that bug me. Um, but a grid down situation doesn't bug me. A EMP situation doesn't bug me. Being short on food or food shortages, I should say, doesn't bug me. Sure, if there's a long-term event and I don't have the food, you know, there's going to be issues, there's going to be problems, but you always got to look to the positive of things and be preparing. If there's an event that happens and a SHTF event that happens, then, your prepping only begins. It doesn't stop. Okay, so you can be prepared with as much food as possible, but if there's a long-term SHTF event, then eventually you'll run out of food, you'll run out of supplies and stuff. If you're not constantly preparing. And I don't know if people realize that or not, but it won't be easy. You're not going to have easy access to stuff. And eventually you'll run out of stuff. There's not an easy way to say, well, I'm 20 years old and I'm going to stock up on enough food for the rest of my life, or, socks for the rest of my life, for an example. Whenever there's an event, things are going to just get more difficult. You're going to have to be more active, trying to continually to prepare and stuff, to extend your food sources out, your water sources. Um, you got to make sure you have that on hand. And that's just a couple of things. Okay, there's a lot of other stuff too. But I'm just saying, when something happens, your prepping does not stop. It only truly begins. Um, so with that being said, I've been on here now for about 39 minutes. So I just want to thank everyone for jumping on and just listening to me ramble on. Um, so please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos, and I got, playlists, and I'm still working on playlists to be able to get things in the list that you can easily find, stuff that I find very useful. And if you have recommendations, please do send me an email, drop it down in the comments. Also, if there's anything you would like to talk about, certain subjects, please let me know. Also check out the featured um, channel section. There's a lot of good preppers out there. Prepper Nation, you know, that's one that I really like. So that's why I'm going to jump off here pretty soon. That way I can switch over and watch his live stream. But anyways, so check out everything. Let me know what you think. Um, you know, it's our community, it's our fellowship. You know, I want a fellowship with like-minded people, preppers, people just that want to be prepared. I want to be with positive people, um, because that helps you remain positive as well. And then also toss ideals and stuff back and forth. And then I'll do things that can when I find them and stuff, or things that I can really recommend for low incomes, situations on helping you to prepare, maybe get some money on the side, or maybe lower your cell phone bill or something like that. I'll do my best to help. Um, so I got this light here that's shining through my kitchen window. Um, but anyway, so I'm going to jump off of here, and I thank you for coming. Check out the featured playlist and channels. Um, and if you like the channels and the videos, please subscribe and like them, like the videos, and show your support. So I just want to thank you, and um, I'll see you over on Prepper Nation if you're going to jump on his channel um, in a little bit, about, let's see, 18, 19 minutes or so. Um, But anyways, I'll see y'all later, and y'all have a good, blessed day. Prepper 911 out.